Welcome to our series, The New Entrepreneur. I'm your host, Natalie Peace. This episode, we're looking at the things you need to know before you buy an existing business. If you want to own a business but are afraid of the risks you take by heading into unknown territory, consider buying an existing business. It can be a lot less risky than starting a business from scratch, because you can look at the business history, including its costs, profits, and even monthly budgets. This means there are fewer unforeseen expenses, and you know how the business has operated in previous years, so you can identify trends that will help you manage the business better. I recently went through the process of selling 2 of my businesses, and I spoke with the gentleman who purchased the stores, Ian Henson, about how the process went from his perspective and why he wanted to purchase these businesses.
And that's one of the benefits to buying an existing business is the fact that you have history to know what it should be doing.
So for those of you who don't know, there's kind of a fun behind the scenes piece here. Ian actually purchased these 2 businesses from me. So it's been 4 months now since you've been the full owner and operator of these 2 Booster Juice locations. And how's it going? Would you consider the transaction a success?
Absolutely. I mean, it's going great. It's too early to tell some things, obviously, 4 months in. But from my own personal standpoint, one of the choices I made was in order to be excited, be happy, be balanced, focus on family and professional life, and from that aspect, absolutely. One of the unique things is that there was a lot of trust between Natalie and I in this negotiation, in that we kind of had I think a very open, everything was on the table perspective right from the beginning, and we maintained that throughout the whole negotiation.
By looking at the business history, you can identify factors such as how seasons, days of the week, and times of day affect your business, so you know when the busy times are. You can also get crystal clear on who the target market is, so you can specifically target the customers who frequent the business with those marketing dollars rather than playing a guessing game. You're also purchasing policies and procedures, which means you aren't spending time and resources developing those systems yourself. Another advantage, it may be easier to get financing to buy an existing business than to start a new business, because it's less risky for a bank to loan you money when they can see the business's history and they have some idea what your cash flow will be like.
Got to get into the good part of the season, make sure we maintain the revenues from years past, and that's one of the benefits to buying an existing business is the fact that you have history to know what it should be doing.
If a business already has a positive association with their name and a solid customer base, this is known as goodwill, and you may be willing to pay more for a business with a positive brand association because there's less risk involved. Customers already know to expect great things from the business, so it takes less time for you to start earning a profit since you have people coming in the door from day 1 of your ownership.
Obviously, a franchise has brand recognition, so you know that there's awareness. People know the brand name, they know what it's about. When it comes to Booster Juice, of course, it's a very healthy choice, and that fit with what I believe in and my lifestyle.
Of course, there are definitely risks you need to be aware of. A big one to look out for is if the seller is inflating their numbers or if they aren't accurately reporting profits or expenses. They may be intentionally deceptive, or they may just keep poor records. Make sure you have an accountant review their financial statements. When your lawyers were aware of the fact that we were doing a share purchase, what were some of the things that they warned you about? What are some of the risks of a share purchase versus an asset purchase of an existing business?
With a share purchase, you're taking over the existing business and everything that it is. So if anybody's hiding anything, like a lawsuit that somebody slipped and fell in the bathroom, or unpaid debts to whomever, those can come back at you at the end, and after the deal is done, you are now responsible for that business prior to. Whereas if it's an asset purchase, it's a new company that's starting up.
So how can you find businesses that are for sale? Well, commercial real estate agents or business brokers can let you know about businesses for sale, but don't assume that because a business is not advertised, that the owner wouldn't be willing to sell for the right price. If you see a business that you're interested in, don't be afraid to approach the owner and initiate a conversation. What do you have to lose? When you get serious about making a deal, make sure you've got a great lawyer and accountant to help you make your decision. One great tip is to ask the owner if you can work at the business for a day to see how it operates and see if it's truly a place that you want to get involved with. And definitely follow your instincts. If your intuition is telling you something is off with the owner, pay attention. If they're not reporting honestly to the government or keeping great financial records, these are red flags. No matter how good the deal seems, follow your gut. It could mean big headaches down the road if you don't. If all goes well and you've decided to purchase the business, be aware that by the time the professionals have gone through the fine print, the transfer can take several months. As a buyer, also know that you're allowed to hold back a certain percentage for a few months if you're buying the company's shares to make sure that there's no skeletons in the closet. Once the sale goes through and you own that business, you can turn it into a business that reflects your own personal values with your unique mission statement. And then you can measure your success on multiple bottom lines and give back to the world around you. I'm Natalie Peace for The New Entrepreneur. Join us for our next episode when we look at financing for your small business, the challenge that stops most would-be entrepreneurs in their tracks.